Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about understanding learning, memory and the science behind repetition. But before starting the video, I would like you to subscribe my channel. If you subscribe my channel, I will really get motivated and will make more and more videos like this, and the quality of the video would be more and more clear. So let's get started. How do we learn things? How can we make change? If we have done it once, why do we find ourselves falling back on old habits? Maybe the first thing to understand is how our brain creates memory. It is important to understand the basics of memory in order to understand learning and change. It is also important to understand the basics of memory in order to better understand traumatic memory. And I want you to understand how the brain makes memories so you can understand why practice and repetition are so important. In today's video, I will simply start with the idea that information comes in through our senses, our ears, our eyes, our skin, nose, taste buds, and this information gets routed either through the low road, the amygdala, our emergency fight, flight, or emotional memory storage center, or the high road, the hippocampus cortex, our memory storage center. And once information comes in, it needs to get encoded, and by that I mean it needs to be written in a language the brain understands so it can be stored and remembered. Here we make a distinction between short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term, or what is also called working memory, is the holding area where information stays when it first comes in. Someone tells us their phone number and we repeat it back, keeping it in our working memory. It's like a whiteboard you scribble on in your brain for your incoming information. Short-term memory lasts minutes. When short-term memory makes the shift to long-term memory can last days, weeks, years, or forever. But here is a question. How does information move from short-term memory to long-term memory? There are only three ways that information can move from short-term memory to long-term memory. Number 1, urgency. Number 2, repetition. Number 3, association. Urgency, with the release of stress hormones, creates a powerful wash of chemicals that strengthens the connection between neurons or synapses. Neurons are actually the cells of nervous system. And urgency also determines how and where the brain encodes the information into long-term memory. Urgency can create a very long-lasting memory after a single exposure to a threat. The amygdala can retain the memory for an entire lifespan. However, the encoding or labeling of the event, the ability to recall or retrieve the memory, can be more troublesome and not under conscious control, so that the information gets stored with an emotional rather than a narrative marker. I can pass by where I had my car accident and get anxious, even if I do not have a conscious memory of the event. Repetition is the most familiar learning tool. Everyone has memorized facts or vocabulary words by repeating them, and some have improved basketball, free throw shooting, or playing piano skills through practice. Repetition creates long-term memory by eliciting or enacting strong chemical interactions at the synapse of your neuron, where neurons connect to other neurons. Repetition creates the strongest learning and most learning, both implicit, like tying your shoes, and explicit, multiplication tables, relies on repetition. It is also why it is so hard to make behavior change, because the new behavior must be repeated for so long and the old behavior must be held in check. Number 3, association, is the ability for a piece of information to tap into a neural connection that already exists. It's the equivalent of already having a file folder for the new learning to go into. For example, if I read a list of 10 numbers out loud and asked you to remember them and say them back to me, typically you would find this a difficult task. But if the 10 numbers also happen to be your phone numbers, then the task would be easy. And if I asked you a year later what the numbers were, you would still be able to give them to me because they were already part of a previous neural connection. All three of these methods affect the neuron or synapse level in similar ways for long-term memory. All three of these methods affect the neuron or synapse level in similar ways for long-term memory. The stimulation from urgency, repetition, or association will actually create new proteins inside your neuron. At the level of the synapse, a self-perpetuating protein is created which keeps the connection going between neurons. This is a long-lasting self-perpetuating protein and it gets strengthened with repetition. In addition to this self-perpetuating cycle, the neuron through the protein processes also creates a new synaptic terminal growth. To increase the connection, it adds another branch on its tree to strengthen and increase the network. So repetition actually grows the brain's neural networks. I hope guys you love my video. Subscribe my channel, like it, share it with your friends. Thank you so much.